We've all got phones.
Hello.
Photo. Oh, very good. Very good.
Yeah, this photo. Oh, wait.
Oh, wow.
You posted this photo.
Yeah, so this
Yeah.
photo was when we were all at Disney, and I made the whole team stop because we entered a competition to name Disney's new like meeting room area and hangout area, and it was 1,000 Hong Kong dollars was the prize at Disney Store. And I just made the whole creative team, like 8 of us, stop and brainstorm, and we won. We won 1,000 Hong Kong dollars. The name of the Disney lounge, we named it the Mouse Pad.
The mouse shopping.
Yeah, and it was called the Mouse Pad forever until they closed up the office and moved it to somewhere cheaper.
That's me, and that's Ange somewhere in the middle.
There, over there, and Supo and the rest of the team.
Love it.
Good times. And to everybody, welcome to Dear Future Grandkids. And if you're wondering why that photo was shown and Perci's there with Ange, a quick background. This was a pandemic project of ours. All of us used to work for Disney and the Disney Channel. Ange and Perci was based in Hong Kong. I was based in Malaysia and Singapore. So this is what happens when friends reconnect, get together during the pandemic, create a show. And like always, I'm Jien in Singapore. And to our regular viewers, yes, I'm no longer in Bali, and I'm extremely upset. And now I'm in my son's room doing the show.
You're in your son's bedroom.
I am, because I'm standing today trying to get some energy. So
you must be very happy about that.
So he's got this.
Be very happy.
Yeah, I've kicked Dylan out, so I've got this stand desk as well. So which I bought actually when I was working from home. So that's me. But more importantly, that's Ange in Hong Kong, like always, and then that's Perci in the Philippines. Where are you, Ange, today? That's a different background.
Yeah, no, I mean, this looks like a bed, but it's not. It's one of those trendy IKEA sofa loungy chaise lounge things. But now I'm just in my lounge. I've moved back to my regular standing desk setup.
Oh yeah, okay.
Ooh, nice. So hello to everybody who's watching. I see we've got some of our regular viewers already here. Kawaii Donna, Bree Loves Bree, Angela Lemonade.
No, that's me. I'm Angela Lemonade.
Yeah, that's you. Sorry.
I'm watching myself.
Hey, you're watching yourself. Oh, June Lalin from the Philippine Press is also watching.
Hi.
Yes, Nicholas is also watching. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Happy Saturday. This is a show that asks you the big question. Are you living your life today the way you want to be remembered tomorrow? What legacy are you leaving behind for your future grandkids?
Let's welcome our guest today. I'm super excited. He's an ABC. Now, that usually means American-born Chinese, but we think in our guest case, it means always being comedic. He was born in the US. He moved to Hong Kong at the age of 4. He moved back to the US for college and then came back to Hong Kong to work. He's a true Pacific Ocean boomerang. By day, he works in advertising. By night, he works in advertising because that's what you do when you work for agency. But when he does have time, he's a hilarious stand-up comedian who's made people laugh the world over. He came third in the Hong Kong International Comedy Competition for 3 years in a row before finally winning it in 2019. He also got to appear in Comedy Central Asia, representing Hong Kong in their show Stand Up Asia Season 2. He does have another first place for having the most amazing eyebrows in comedy. Please welcome to Dear Future Grandkids, part man, part advertising executive, or comedian, Garron Chiu.
Hey guys.
Yo.
Hey Garron.
Hey Garron.
Morning, Garron. How are you?
Morning, Garron.
Good. I'm on day 3 of my quarantine right now, so you guys are my number one priority for the rest of the day.
So how much of your time has been sleeping? How much has been mindlessly surfing the net? And how much has been good intentions to, do some work?
I have a yoga mat set up when I first got here, and I haven't been on it yet.
I was about to ask that.
Hopefully today.
Everybody that goes into quarantine is thinking, yeah, I'm going to do yoga. But actually, how many of us actually
make
do
my
it?
life better instead? I will say thank you guys, because if it wasn't for this podcast, I might not have gotten out of bed today. So little jet lagged.
And you're wearing a shirt.
Yes, I put on a shirt just for this is my one nice podcast shirt. This is the rest is just pajamas. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Garron, for saying yes, for joining us today.
No
Now,
problem.
the name of the show you got yourself into is Dear Future Grandkids. Have you ever
Yes.
thought of yourself as a grandfather?
Have I ever thought? I haven't. I got married recently, and I haven't even thought of myself as a father yet. Wow. Oh no. Okay.
Shocking.
Now here's the problem with that. I wish I could grow a beard that good. I've gone through many Movembers before. Oh my god! Wow, that actually does look like one of my uncles. I've gone through many Movembers before, and it does not. It's not good.
No.
It's just sharp and outwards.
Oh,
spikes.
you grow the porcupine beard, huh?
Yeah.
I do that too. Yes, my son hates it.
Have I thought of myself as granddad? Not. I mean, maybe. Sometimes I was like, oh, it would be nice to have a lot of kids, and then I babysit a lot of my friends' kids, and I'm like, oh, maybe not. I don't know.
Wait, hold on.
Very
We need to backtrack that statement. You babysit a lot of your friends' kids. Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
Why would I do that? Because I see the pain in their eyes, and sometimes I'm just a nice friend.
You
like,
are.
Here,
You are a good friend.
You can go watch the newest Marvel movie with your wife. I'll look after your kids for 3 hours. And
You are a very good friend.
accidentally
When are
teach
you?
them swear
When are you
words.
next in Manila?
Yeah. When are you next in Singapore?
Hopefully soon. I mean, I'd like to. I used to go to Manila and Singapore all the time before all this COVID stuff. Like, both at my advertising job, which you guys mentioned, and as a comedian. Like, Hong Kong is one of the easiest places to travel. Like, every weekend, it's just Taipei, Philippines, Bangkok, Singapore, Shanghai, stuff like that, doing shows. Hopefully we'll get back to that soon because I was on a few-year run of every year I'd do at least 10 different cities to perform comedy in.
Oh, wow.
And obviously in the last 2.5 years, it's been Hong Kong, and that's about it. And maybe some online shows.
Well, Singapore is open, definitely open, and things are getting a bit more alive and kicking. So hopefully that will continue towards forever, hopefully. But now, Garron, thank you so much for being on the show. Now we'd like to start with what we call some quick fire questions. Right? You ready? I think you're ready because you've got nothing to do. You're in quarantine. So I guess you're ready. Right, here we go. Now, what's something surprisingly a lot about?
Oh man, I'm a huge pop culture head and a basketball head. Like I watched so much basketball and so much TV growing up. I just know a lot of like weird trivia about basketball and TV to a crazy extent. Like, people would invite me to go to join their quiz teams just for like TV ones. Or like just because I would know the box score of a 1960s Celtics NBA Finals game,
Oh, we are
I need
friends.
you. I'm on a quiz team. I absolutely need you. What kind of TV are you?
Mostly comedies. I love comedies, but I'm a big like drama guy. I'm a big what they call prestige TV. So at least in the last 10 years, everything on HBO, everything on Showtime, anything that's won an Emmy, I'm watching those shows. A lot of my friends always ask me, they're like, you work so hard in advertising and you work so hard in comedy. Where do you get the time to watch all this television? And I just say, if you don't sleep a lot, you can do a lot of things.
Okay. I'm going to test you with your knowledge then and talk about Emmy-winning TV shows, right? So easy one, HBO, Game of Thrones, right?
Yes.
So, which episode did Khaleesi first appear in the series?
Khaleesi appeared. Was Khaleesi not in the first episode, or was she in the second? Oh no, this is tough.
Oh.
I'm not sure. All I know is, here's the thing. After Game of Thrones, I tried to wipe all my Game of Thrones memory out of my head.
Oh, okay. You're disappointed. Yeah.
It was too painful.
So what is the answer?
I have a lot of friends who are like, during the pandemic, there's so many TV shows you want to rewatch. Like, let's rewatch Breaking Bad. Let's rewatch Lost. Let's rewatch all these. Nobody ever says, let's rewatch Breaking Bad. It's like, that one's over. Let's not talk about that one ever again.
Yeah, Percy, you just asked me what was the answer to that question, right?
3?
Yes.
2.
I actually don't know, so I just made it up.
So thank you very much to all of our 6 fans watching now.
You
can Google it.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
And rewatch it. And HBO, you can send us some money for the plug.
Actually, can one of our viewers go and Google it now and then plug into the chat what it is? Because now it's gonna, even though I've never watched a single episode of Game of Thrones, it's just gonna bug me that I don't know.
We cannot multitask and Google as we're doing a podcast. You have to do it for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So while you guys are trying to
My
Google
guess
the
is
answer,
3. My guess is 3, by the way.
I'm not so sure. Might be
I
even
don't think it's
later,
the
but let's
first.
see. I think it
It
might
was
be
pretty
later than
early
that.
because she was first introduced because her brother was trying to sell her into slavery so that he can have money to
Yes.
start an army. See, I know all that much. Just trying to remember which episode it was. It's a little,
Yeah, the first episode was pretty straightforward. We're actually talking about Game of Thrones.
Right. Okay. Got to move on to the next quickfire question. Garron,
Yeah.
if you weren't working in advertising, what job would you have? Stand-up comedian.
I might be homeless. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever worked at a job that wasn't advertising. I think if I wasn't working in advertising, I used to say I think I'd be a lawyer because I always wanted to kind of become a lawyer, but I think that's not a corporate environment that kind of works for me. Like I think I like advertising because the corporate environment's a little more flexible, it's a little more creative. So I'd probably, if and I know this is kind of based on my first answer, I'd be working in basketball or I'd be working in television somewhere.
Got it.
In like a marketing department or
Yeah.
some creative department or that's
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Now finish this sentence. I like being a comedian because.
I like being a comedian because that's when everyone has to listen to me and me only. No, I mean the serious answer for that is like I like making people laugh, and that's not as altruistic as that sounds because like I love when I make people laugh, but when I make people laugh, when I can say something where other people laugh, that makes me feel really good. Like I'm glad it makes you feel good, but more importantly, it makes me feel really good. So it's kind of like both altruistic and extremely egotistical at the same time.
You bring joy to the
Fair
world. What's wrong with that? Okay, my questions. What's a piece of advice your best friend gives you that you're always ignoring?
If he sees us, my best friend Phil tells me to quit my job all the time, constantly. He's just like, quit your job, just become a comedian. Try it for a year. And I think I like the safe route of having a day job, but I'll see because I do comedy a lot. I do enough to travel, as in the U.S. doing shows, but he's the one constantly being like, quit your job, just go all in a little bit. He's a little more daring than I am, so we'll see. I think I'm getting close to the edge, and he's going to be the one to push me off eventually.
There you
What
go.
would it
Follow
take?
the dream.
Yeah, what would it take? Is it an income thing? You know, you want to be enough. You want to have enough to pay for like instant noodles for a year, or is it?
It might be an income thing,
Right.
but it also might just be a discipline thing. Like I've got discipline at my day job, sort of. But if I was like comedian full time, I don't know how I'd handle my each and every day. Like I'd have to have I'd have to create and figure out some sort of structure, understand joke writing, understand performing more, trying to get shows. But that and the income thing, I think so. I think I just need to break out of my box a little of like, hey, grow up, have a white collar stable job, which I do, but and it's a very good one. But eventually, I'm going to come to a crossroads where I need to pick one. I think.
Well, it might be a balance thing too, because I don't know. There, you get to pursue comedy as a hobby, and then you've got a day job. But the moment the comedy becomes your job, then it's no longer a hobby, right?
I would love to flip it. I've met some professional comedians who, similar to my position, used to be in advertising on the side, and now they're like, "Oh yeah, we do freelance advertising work, a few days a month, and it's enough to pay all the bills, and then do all the rest doing comedy." So I'm like, "Oh, that sounds amazing." So we'll see how that goes.
There you go.
Nice.
Okay, I've got the next question. In a very vicious fight between you and an angry cockroach, who will win?
Oh, 100% me. 100% me. I am
You're
like
a cockroach exterminator.
I am a bug exterminator. I can catch mosquitoes with my bare hands. I can growing up, like your best weapon is a hotel slipper, you know. I think like my wife is very afraid of bugs, and I am a bug killer, so she kind of likes that about me.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, for me, a cockroach will always win.
Really?
I'll be running out the door.
My theory is this: like I know people who are scared of bugs, and I understand that.
Me.
I want to one day, like, you've never seen a Godzilla movie where humans are running around and Godzilla's like, oh my God, they're so fast and they're so creepy and runs away, right? Like we're kind of the same ratio to size in that.
I mean, that's what my sister keeps saying. So when I drag people to my place when I've seen a little tiny bug, the smallest bug, and I'll drag people to my place, and they always give me this, you are 10 times bigger than that little thing. How can you possibly be scared of that thing?
Think about it this way. I'm sure you accidentally kill multiple bugs on a daily basis that you don't even know about.
Oh, you know,
you're just walking around.
No, you know, that's scared me more because apparently in England, I don't know if this is true or not, but I believe it. Apparently in England, a spider crawls across your face at night 3 times a week.
No.
So I probably swallowed. Yeah, I probably.
No
and there's
way.
our house in England has loads of house spiders. You know, I see one an hour.
What?
So it kind of makes sense.
Does it include like the really tiny ones you might not notice though?
I mean,
It must be. It must be.
Yeah.
But you know what?
They're big in our house, right? The house spiders are big, and I can really well believe it. And I sleep like this, like.
Oh,
so I am totally catching spiders in the middle of the night. So
I did wake up in the middle of the night, face to face with a spider. I mean, I was facing the wall, and there was a spider like this big there.
Oh,
I get one of those, like, if I'm asleep and I even hear a mosquito, I can't go back to bed until I kill it.
Oh,
like,
wow, really?
I will not be able to fall asleep.
Wow.
Yeah, one of the worst nights of my life is I woke up and there was a mosquito flying straight into my ear. And if you've ever had that, it feels like something has eaten your brain. It feels like a zombie virus has come and eaten your brain. There's nothing. It's just the weirdest. You go mental. You absolutely used to fly around. You just start screaming, and you don't actually know that it's a mosquito because the noise, the vibration it makes, isn't like a mosquito vibration. So you actually think you've gone crazy.
Yeah.
By the way, the answer is episode 1.
Yeah. Thank you, Christian.
I was correct.
Remotely.
Yeah, you were correct.
There we go.
You were wrong. It's even the person who asked the question got it wrong.
Thanks, Christian, for the answer for that. By the way.
I didn't even know yet.
By the way, we've got comments on that question about the cockroach. Bree loves Bree will win against a cockroach once it's not flying. I totally agree with you. Flying cockroach is a totally different animal from crawling cockroach.
See, once you expect, just assume all cockroaches fly, then you'll totally be prepared.
Yeah, I will take that to heart. And Ian Pennick, Ange, agrees with you about the spiders.
Oh, thanks, Ian. He's from England, right? You're from Ian.
I think
England, right? So you get it.
Ian's from England. Every night there's a spider in my bed.
Oh, there you go.
Jen, don't talk about Sarah like that, honestly.
That's my wife you're talking about. How rude of you. Well, yeah, that's true.
Okay, Garron. Next question. Finish this sentence. Out of all my friends, I have the smallest blank and why?
I was gonna say temper, but I'm gonna say the amount of humility. I definitely I'm really humble with my friends, and that's something I really need to work on. And my friends know it too. My friends know it. Like so my wife is very funny, and they know nothing pisses me off more than if someone says, like, you know what, I think Cassie's funnier than Garron, and I know they're messing with me, but that'll get me so mad. I'm like, I'm a comedian, I tour over the world, how can you say she's funny? And so I probably have the smallest amount of humility compared to my friends, so I gotta work on that. But knowing that fact is probably the first step, you know.
Yes, awareness is the first step. Oh, that's very good. All right. So, Garron, I mean, I know you work in advertising and everything, but name one big lie you keep telling.
Name one big lie I keep telling. That McDonald's is not that bad for you.
Is it every time you go to a McDonald's you say that to yourself?
No, Garron, you work on their account, right?
For 3 years. And it's a great company, it's a great brand. But sometimes I'm just like, yeah, it's not that bad. You can have McDonald's for breakfast and lunch. You shouldn't. Moderation. McDonald's is great, but in moderation.
That's so funny.
Name one thing you do. McDonald's fans amongst the podcasters, amongst the hosts.
Do we have any McDonald's fans? Amongst our viewers, any McDonald's fans out there?
Actually, we just
clearly Garron can no longer go back to working with McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking Yep, this is what will push you over
I
the
mean-
edge, with your friends' advice. This
I
is
mean, I'll be
it.
honest.
This is the moment.
Yeah, I don't mind having a McDonald's every now and again. Not the breakfast. The breakfast just for me just is awful.
Oh, I love
But
it.
a Big Mac every now
Love
and
it.
again. Yeah. And when I was 16, I did a commercial for McDonald's. So
Oh
Oh,
wow.
really?
Yeah.
What did you have to say? Did you have to go,
No, so I was like
got to
like
do
a young
this?
a teenager just at McDonald's trying to impress a few girls with some moves in the burger in my hand because that's what you normally do.
Yeah, that wasn't just the commercial.
No,
This,
yeah.
Yeah, that totally impresses me,
That's
Jen.
how you do, yeah.
This
That's what we do.
move.
This is a very normal scene, so that's what I did.
Oh, Jen, I've got to go on YouTube now and try and find that ad. That's going to be brilliant. I
And it
love
was a
that.
tagline. It used to be what? Is it the good time, great taste of McDonald's or something? And I think that was a
Oh,
whole
that's
jingle
so funny.
a long
Oh my
time
goodness!
ago.
I'm going to look in the Malaysian advertising archive to find that ad with you in it as a 16-year-old.
Yeah, and I think our
It's too
viewers
funny.
are also
McDonald's
gonna be
fans in the
doing that.
comments, though. I'm very happy about that.
Yes,
There
there's
you
lots of
go.
McDonald's fans.
We'll see their favorite order.
That's too funny. So, Garron, name one thing you do better than any of your friends and family aside from knowing basketball and TV comedy facts.
One thing again, I have to go back to this last answer. It is making people laugh. I think and that's not just like on a stand-up comedy thing. My grandma, who I love a lot, she came up to me. It was her birthday earlier this year, and she was drinking a little. And I've got a very big family, and my grandma actually came up to me and she's like, "You're not my favorite grandchild."
What?
And I
You
was
have
like,
to say that.
Very drunk. No, well, I didn't know she was good. She's like, you're not my favorite grandchild, but you make me laugh the most. And I'm like, yes, that's all I care about. Like,
I can't believe she said that.
Why are you not the favorite? Who is that? Who? Could be
I
better?
know. I'm not going to say it out here.
I am
know
curious.
The oldest grandchild is definitely the favorite grandchild. It's very Chinese. There's 15 grandchildren, and I'm exactly in the middle.
Okay.
But for her to say, it's like, yeah, but you make me laugh the most. I'm like, nice. That's all I care about.
I imagine there's this like Premier League table of grandchildren. And
Yeah, I know.
everyone at the end
Mid-table.
of seasons,
Mid-table.
Yeah, everyone at the end of seasons, everyone's like, please don't,
As long
please
as
don't let
as
me
long
be
as I'm
the
not
Aston
getting
Villa.
relegated.
I don't want to be the Aston Villa of grandchildren. I want to be the Manchester United.
Every few years, I got to play in the Champions League. I'm happy.
There you go. You get a special award. Most funny.
Garron, do you have a motto in life? Do you have a motto in life?
Yes. Just to go on with this theme, some people like to say like laughter is the best medicine. I like to say laughter is the best everything. Like every day, if you have a day where you laughed and you made someone laugh, that's a good day. You've succeeded in that day. So I just like to say laughter is the best everything. I think it's just, as bad as things can get, or as good as things can get, if you're able to laugh and make someone laugh like once, then you have a little bit of joy. The day's not as bad as it could have been,
Wow. I like that motto.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
All
so
right.
good.
Yes. So, Garron,
Yes.
I'm looking at the comment section. We're still seeing a lot of
Everyone's
Kind of
McDonald's.
Everyone loves McDonald's.
Now, Garron, we know you're in quarantine in a Hong Kong hotel, so we normally ask, do you have a corner of shame? So instead of asking that, we're going to ask, have you developed any shameful quarantine habits that we need to know about?
Shameful quarantine habits. Oof. I haven't made the bed yet. I've been wearing the same. I haven't changed my underwear in 3 days. Is that
Oh,
bad quarantine?
Okay, we can stop it there. We can stop it there.
Well, because
I think
I
that's
came
fair.
from traveling, so my clothes are already all dirty. Like I didn't clean all my clothes before getting into quarantine. I was on a 21-day trip and I didn't have anywhere to do laundry. So I get in here, I'm like,
And you're not allowed to do laundry, right? You can't do laundry in
You're not allowed
quarantine,
to
right?
do laundry.
So
Exactly.
you have to wash your underpants and hang them up on the.
Oh no,
the
I'm just
hotel mirror.
it's just gonna be dirty clothes for 7 days, and then.
Wait,
When you get out, it's going to be like Matt Damon in The Martian.
Okay, so when I told this to some of my friends who've been in quarantine, a lot of them responded with, "Why are you wearing underwear?" I'm like, "Good point." I don't technically. I could just be wearing my basketball shorts. I think.
Yeah, but hold on, are you not allowed to send your laundry out to be washed?
No, nothing's
Really?
nothing.
Because
Yeah.
it's quarantine. Yes.
Everything that comes out leaves the room it's only stuff that can be destroyed. So you can only take trash out of your room, but that's it.
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow.
I actually didn't realize that when you
Yeah.
when you come from a trip, all your clothes would be dirty. So
Yeah, because like I'm not doing. Why would you do laundry on vacation, right? So
Yeah.
usually you come home and then you unload and wash everything, and then I didn't think about needing clean clothes in these 7 days.
Yeah,
I mean,
wouldn't.
theoretically, I could get some people to send me clean clothes in quarantine, but I feel like that's unnecessary. It's 5 more days. I can handle it.
You know
Oh,
what?
you
5 days, Garron. Just a bathrobe. That's it.
Yeah,
bathrobe.
5 days.
It's
Hotel
bathrobe.
bathrobe. You're done.
No,
might do
nobody's gonna see you except the three of us and probably all of these people in the comment
Yeah, just
section.
don't
But
stand
it's
up,
okay.
okay? Do not stand up, Garron.
I am wearing shorts. I am wearing shorts today.
The honor.
But is there underwear?
Oh, God. Okay, let's end it there. Speaking of no underwear, do you have two treasures? I love this segue. Now, this is the part of the show where we're going to ask you if there's anything from your work or travels that you have with you that you can show us. That you can
yes.
show us. It's an important qualifier.
So the first thing is every time I travel, my wife tries to get me to buy her some whatever fancy skincare exists from that country. So I have this. So this is very big in the U.S. now. You know when people wear those like face masks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have face masks that are made of rubber.
Oh
What?
my goodness, that's
Yeah.
No.
And she's like, it helps you absorb it more because it stays on longer. And she said, "Oh, get me those because they're very expensive in Hong Kong and they're much cheaper in the U.S." But these look kind of creepy, right? These look like
It
a
does look
Japanese
creepy.
movie.
that is some
Yeah.
terrible Korean horror film.
Yeah, she made me buy her like a whole box of these.
I've got to buy that. My wife wears a mask every night. Sorry, Sarah, I just outed you to everyone else. But yeah,
and you would
a
prefer
rubber one.
when you go to bed.
Well, if you see what she looks like, that'll be an improvement
Jen.
by far.
Oh.
Yeah.
By far.
But Garron, one night you're going to forget that you bought your wife these. She's going to come out of the bathroom and you are
No.
absolutely
Oh, man.
gonna
You're
scream.
just gonna turn over in the bed and you're gonna see.
I
that
actually
face.
want to like just put one of those on and just see what my dog's reaction would be.
Yeah. Is that
And my other thing, this is the secret to all my travels. I have a hard drive that's like a 2 terabyte hard drive with all my favorite TV shows on it forever. From like, it could be as recent as like Succession, which recently had season 3 on HBO, but it could be as old as like every episode of South Park and Seinfeld and 30 Rock is on here as well. So
nice?
it's like all TVs and movies that everywhere I can go, whatever I want, on a plane, because a lot of planes allow you to connect stuff to the TV as well now. I can just watch whatever I want, whenever I want. So I always have that with me as well.
So a follow-up question to that: what's on your that little terabyte thingy? Because you said you lack humility. So do you have your stand-up shows in there?
Yeah, do you
Uh,
watch your own?
You watch
You watch your
yourself
own
on the
stuff.
plane and you start laughing out loud, and then
I have my stand-up shows on there, but I do not rewatch them. That's like as much as I have the humility, I have trouble watching my own sets. I mean, when they're good sets, it's fine. It's just, you know, when you guys have that thing of you sound different on camera than you do in your head.
yeah.
And for me, it's like that all the time. So every time I watch myself do comedy, I'm like, he's getting laughs, but that's not my voice. That's someone else's voice.
That's Garron, the evil twin, who's getting hugged.
Yeah.
Jen.
Yeah, but I do have some of those on there that I always tell myself I'm going to do. You know, when you see the stand-up videos of them being edited with the subtitles, every time I'm traveling, I'm like, oh, I'm going to edit those videos down and put subtitles on it. And then every time I land, I'm like, can I just pay someone to do that? Is there someone? Is there a cheap? It seems like a lot of work.
I'm with you on that.
You know, I was watching, who was I watching? One of the female comedians said when she was first starting out, she was doing like 3 gigs a night, every single night in New York. She filmed every one and she didn't go to bed until she rewatched the set and then she improved it for the very next night. Do you do that?
Yes.
I mean, that's just how you do.
I don't do that as much now, but that is something you recommend to all new comics. You always tell new comedians, record your set, watch your set, because it's a lot of stagecraft when you're starting out that you don't even notice or don't even think about. So a lot of, for example, new comedians, when they're thinking of a joke, they'll look down. But the moment they look down, you lose the attention of all the audience. So you listen
because you're trying to memorize it.
Yeah, exactly. So every time you look down, even if you're getting a laugh, the laugh suddenly stops. Because if you disengage with the audience will think they should disengage with you as well. So it's a lot of minor things. You know, a lot of people make the mistake of as simple as you never move the mic stand away. So the mic stand's always in front of you. So it's a distraction as well. So that's why you see comedians, they're always holding the mic stand off to the side. And it's just simple things like that you'll never get unless you like keep rewatching your tape. So yeah.
So you mean if you have your mic stand in front of you, people will naturally sort of look at it?
No, yeah, because your mic stand's now
actually divider.
Yeah. That's why you see most of the first thing to do, you take the mic out of the mic stand and you move the mic stand
to the side.
Yeah.
Oh, and do you have you practiced like different types of mics? Like you tried the whole that mic and then
I prefer to hold. I think I prefer to hold.
Yeah, same.
It just feels a little more classic. Like whenever people have the headset mics, it feels more like a motivational speech, like a TED Talk. I know there's some people who do that. Jimmy Carr does that, but I like holding a microphone.
Well, I'm just curious.
This shows my age because I always think it feels like it's like Janet Jackson. You're about to dance. That's what I always think when you have a headset. I'm like, oh, great, dancing. Garron's going to come up on stage and dance because he's got a headset market on. That's what I think.
There's also mic techniques you can do because like you can modulate your volume, you can pull it back, move it forward.
Yeah.
You can do. There's a lot of microphone tricks that you can't do with the headset.
Nice. Garron, I'm just curious. Is there something that you were doing when you were starting that you learned not to do? What were, I guess, the mistakes that you made earlier on?
The looking down thing was a big one because I would always look down. And also it's just as simple as like making eye contact. So now I try to engage with like everyone in the audience. I don't have to talk to them, but like just try to look them right in the eyes. And that just makes things more engaging as well. But also, you know, when people have verbal tics, so some people say, or some people stutter, or some people repeat words.
Yeah.
Those things happen during a lapse in concentration. So next time you're talking to someone and someone has a verbal tic, say they say, you'll look them right in the eye and you'll notice they'll say, only when they look away. And it's the same with you and the audience. Like if you want to get rid of your verbal tic, just keep making sure you're looking at the audience the entire time. Because once you like break eye contact, that's when you start with your verbal tics. And that's plus it's a little more engaging. Like you kind of make it feel like you're in the moment a little more. And also, this is going to a little more nerdy comedy craft thing, but there's a instinct in comedy that when you're not doing well, you speed up because you're a little worried. You're like, oh, let me get to the next joke. Let me get to the laugh quicker. It's supposed to be the opposite. You want to slow down. You want to slow down to get people more engaged. You want to slow down to get people closer to you, slow down to get people to pay attention more. And if you watch like the professional comedians, they are totally fine with silence. Like you can say a joke and then take a long pause before the next joke or pause before a punchline. And that's what is one of the things I've learned the most. Because I think your initial instinct when you first start doing comedy is like, oh, if I'm getting laughs, I want to speed up because I want to get more laughs. Or you're afraid of the silence. When really the silence helps you build the tension to get to the punchline, to get to the next laugh. So those are the two things I'd say. It's one, just like really engage with the audience, and two, learn when to slow down, learn when to not say anything. Use that as much as a tool as much as your actual writing. So
what if a joke completely dies? You know, and I'm sure you've been there a zillion times in your life. How do you react? Is it silence? What do you do?
So there are people who, a lot of people try to acknowledge it, or we call lean into the bomb, which is not something I recommend because it might work once, but then it won't work a second time, it won't work a third time. Because if you say like, oh, that joke didn't work, the next joke might, some people laugh. And then your next joke also doesn't work, then it's just over. For me, I just have like a stay professional attitude of if something doesn't work, I just pretend it did and then tell my next joke and trust that your next joke's going to work. Sometimes it's about reading the audience. Like if you do a lot of jokes about sex, for example, and none of these are working, then you just have to be like, okay, change the topic. Don't talk about those jokes. Maybe do some cleaner jokes. Maybe do some more, family friendly jokes, that kind of thing. But I don't acknowledge a joke doesn't work. It's just like pretend it did and make sure the next one does. or like find the quickest joke you can have that you can just bring out and get people laughing again. Because one joke not working is nothing in the span of a 10-minute set where you might have like 20 jokes. If one joke doesn't work, it's not a big deal. Just do your next one and just like really trust in your material.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, we've got Lord Impidimp. Good to see you again. Said when you talk about verbal tics, said no idea what he means. And then Ian Pennick wants to know, have you ever done a gig at the Edinburgh Fringe? Because
I have not, but I plan to eventually. I think one of the things you want to do, any Fringe festival, so most Fringe festivals, you do a lot of shows concurrently in a lot of days. And those shows are the best ways to improve at comedy. So I've done a few similar festivals, not Edinburgh, but I did the San Francisco Comedy Festival. When you're doing, 12 shows in 7 days, you quickly realize how much better you get at a short span of time. Because again, you're reviewing tape. You're like, what did I do that worked today? How can I bring it on to tomorrow? How can I build onto that momentum? Especially if you're doing 2 shows in one night and the first show does really well, you're like, how can I make the second show even better than that? And you're thinking of things to add on. You might make up some additional jokes. So that I find really helpful. And then there's Winston Jensen asked, was there a moment when he forgot his lines and how did he cover it up? I've always been someone who's very good at memorizing lines. So I was a debater. I did a lot of plays. If you do forget something, I would just quickly move on to something else or move on to crowd work. So like, if I think I forget something, I'll ask someone questions like, oh, you guys are dating. How long have you guys been dating? And basically do something until you remember what you're about to say and fill in the gaps, just to basically not let the audience realize you've forgotten the joke. Because I think audiences, I think there's people think in comedy, you're like, oh, the audience might heckle you. The audience might, they might boo you. Actually, audiences, if you guys have ever gone to a comedy show, you want people to succeed. You want that person to make you laugh because that's what you came here for. That's what you paid for. Mm-hmm. So like the audience's default is rooting for the comedian. And as a comedian, just pretend to be professional all the time. Always act like you know you're about to make them laugh. Act like you know what you're doing. Because the moment it looks like you don't know what you're doing, like, oh, you even say like, oh, I think I forgot my lines. Then the audience gives up on you. Then they're like, well, why are we rooting for this guy? We came all this way. We thought we're seeing something professional, and clearly he doesn't know what they're doing. So it's a big like fake it till you make it attitude. If I forget something, I immediately pivot until I remember it again, and just not let them kind of smell blood. If that analogy,
like a mosquito in a room looking for your ear. That's so funny. Tell us about your childhood. Tell us what Garron was like growing up. Were you always funny? Were the eyebrows always present?
The eyebrows were always present. These eyebrows, I was
actually
born
they're your dad's, aren't they? We have a photo
and my granddad's, my dad and my granddad.
Yeah, we have a photo of you as a kid, and your dad's eyebrows stick out a mile.
They do.
Yeah. Look at that strong eyebrows.
Wow, strong eyebrows.
I think in Chinese face reading, that's a really good sign, isn't it?
Yeah.
I won't say I was always funny, but I always wanted to get some sort of attention. Not like I was like I needed attention from people to like take care of me, but this is a
look at that. That's such a 90s. That's such a 90s photo.
I like that pose.
This is 2002 or 2003. So I'd always try to be in some sort of performance, whether I'm like, I jump into a room in front of adults and try to like dance around, or I was in a band. I was kind of big into instruments when I was a kid. And mostly I talked a lot. I remember when I was 4 and I was, when you have to do those kindergarten interviews in Asia, which seems like such a high stress situation. I think they just want to see how you interact with adults. And my parents would always tell me the story. Like I had an interview with the vice principal of this kindergarten, and the vice principal just came up to them and was like, I have never seen a kid talk that much before. That's how I got in. And I think it was just, I was a very talkative child. I would weirdly make up stories. I had quite a big imagination. But I would always be the one talking, which I think eventually, in high school, I did a lot of debate. I did plays. probably led me to doing stand-up comedy, working in advertising. I have a job where it just involves me talking most of the time. So I guess that like that's been probably like my biggest strength and biggest weakness, because very good at talking, need to get better at listening. That's for sure. So I need to work on that. But the childhood, was pretty good. I think it also helped that I had a really big family. So, just my mom's side alone, I mentioned I've got 15 cousins. I'm right in the middle. We all live close to each other. So I had a big wealth of just people to look up to, but also like how I built my personality and built the things I liked. I had a lot of cousins who were like, oh, check out this comic book, check out this TV show, check out these like books I used to read, check out this music I used to listen to. So like from a pop culture standpoint, I had a lot of different wells to drink from, which probably built my personality a lot. I think so.
And you had a built-in audience, right? And you had a built-in audience.
The big
Yes, I
family.
definitely had a built-in audience. And then in high school, it was just like I love sports, but I'm not an athlete. My whole thing was like, I need to perform in front of people. Did a lot of plays, was in an improv group. Even when I was doing debate, I did a lot of debate in college, and I coached debate for a while. My technique in debating was also to make judges laugh. I'm like, I'm going to write jokes into this argument, because it's like, it's very easy to get a room to like believe in an argument that you practice. To get a room to laugh is very difficult. So that was probably led me to where I ended up today.
And you get the upper hand, I guess,
Oh yeah,
because that would throw you off if you're debating with somebody that's making everybody laugh. You automatically lose.
You win the likability thing already.
Yeah. Because you want everybody.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, let's say we're in a DeLorean and we're traveling at 88 miles an hour, and we go 50 years.
Let's say we're not that old.
Yeah.
It's from Back to the Future, the DeLorean.
Back to the Future, young kids watching now.
So we go 50 years in the future, and we bump into Granddad Garron in our pteropod in Mars. And I go, "Hi, Grandpa Garron. That's a very nice pressure space suit you're wearing. I like your oxygen mask. Happy 83rd birthday." What would Grandpa Garron want to say about the 83 years he's lived on this universe?
I'd say hopefully I brought some joy into people's lives, and like if whether or not you can make a difference in people's lives, or a difference in the world, you can make a big impact. I think start by seeing if you can make people laugh or smile first. And that can be done in a lot of ways. That can be done by listening. That can be done by telling jokes. For me, the listening part, I'll have to work on that. Hopefully I've worked on that in the next 50 years. But I would tell, future grandkid, just try to think about how you can make someone's life a little bit better in every interaction. Because it is very easy to make someone's life a little worse. It takes a little more thought to make someone's life a little better. So if you can think about that in every interaction, I think you're going to have a pretty good life and a pretty good impact on other people's lives as well.
Nice.
Oh, lovely.
Wow.
Nice.
Garron, do you have your phone nearby?
I do have my phone nearby.
Aha. Okay. So we would like you to leave a voice message to someone special in your life. You can make it personal. You can make it private. We're just, don't mind us. We're just here. We're not listening. All the people in the comment section are not listening also. No, but just leave a message to someone. You don't have to tell us who. We'll just eavesdrop and guess.
Okay. Let me do this. This is more of a general one. I'll explain afterwards. Hey, I know whatever's happened in the last few months and last few years must seem really stressful. It must seem like you're feeling like an outsider, but just want to let you know we are extremely welcoming. We are so happy for you, and you can use us to lean on, to cry on, or as a resource anytime you want, because this is a very big family, and we're always happy for it to be a little bigger.
Wow.
So basically, my brother has gotten married recently. My sister is in a long-term relationship, and we have a lot of cousins in long-term relationships. And we've noticed, because we're such a big family, anytime someone marries into our family, it seems like a very stressful thing for that person. And it's and this is just a general, like, these are for all of you guys who are about to, including my new sister-in-law. This is a generic, like, hey, our family is very big and it's very intimidating, and it might be very stressful, especially going on vacation with us or even going to dinners with us. But to let them know that they are actually part of the family, and it's important for them to feel like they are and not like they're on the outside looking in.
That's really
I
sweet.
feel like there needs to be a Chiu famly onboarding, like, when employees arrive at work for the first time, they get given their card, they get given a manual.
The onboarding happens way before. We even, like, my wife, first time she met our family, like, one of my cousins drew her a family tree, because she met my parents, and then
God, no pressure.
The day after meeting my parents, she was invited to a dinner where at least had 12 cousins there, and she's like, I don't know anyone's names, I gotta remember all these, and some of them are married and some of them have kids, and so we're just drawing but it's the onboarding process takes a while. It's not a 45-minute PowerPoint, I'll tell you that.
How big is big in your family? How many are you? I'm just now curious.
So just my mom's side, it's so my grandparents, my mom has 6 siblings, and then below that's 15 cousins, so 15 grandkids, and right now 8 great grandkids with a few more on the way. So half of my cousins are married, and that's just on my mom's side. And also they've got their cousins and their cousins, and like I've got third cousins in Hong Kong as well. And then my dad's side is mostly in the US, and it's big too, but usually when you come to Hong Kong, you only have to deal with my mom's side of the family so far. So it's a lot. And that's everybody has to learn the skills of babysitting, because there are a lot of kids that you have to deal with.
That is a lot, and then a lot impedances. You can just welcome everyone, your newcomers, by putting them in the middle, and all the whole family circles them and chant, "One of us, one of us."
Speak of things I've learned. So this is outside of comedy. This is what I learned as a babysitting technique. Apparently, you're not supposed to laugh at any bad behavior, because laughter. We see laughter as the thing that entertains us. Children see laughter as an enabler. Like, if they see someone laugh, that means they think that's the thing to do. And so we made the mistake of one of my cousin's children, who was I think 3 years old at the time, punched one of my cousins in the balls, and we all laughed. And the only issue is, because we laughed, the kid won't stop punching different people in the balls. This is how they get the affection of my elders. And, so that's a very painful lesson to learn.
The Chiu family initiation.
Yes, you're not supposed to laugh at bad behavior, no matter how funny it is.
Okay, and now all future male cousins-in-law are gonna be scared to go to family reunions, thinking, "Oh, there's a kid that's gonna hit me in the balls here."
There's a padding. There's a padding you got to wear before family reunions.
Oh,
yeah,
wear the rubber mask. Wear the rubber face mask. Just put it down there.
Oh no!
That's not too scary.
And no.
Recycle, reuse. Okay.
No. Stop. That is so bad. Garron, I tell you what, we have really, really enjoyed having you on the show today. And thank you so much for spending time with us and creating all this video time capsule. So before you go, as we close the lid on this time capsule, what do you want to say to your future grandkids?
This is like a weird. I don't believe in karma a lot, but I just generally believe, like, if you try to treat people well and make people try to improve the lives of others, even if it's really small, you're going to end up having a good life. So I hope. I mean, that's such a micro lesson. It's not a macro lesson, but I future grandkids, I hope they take that to heart.
Aw.
Nice.
That is a big life lesson.
Thank you.
Sometimes the small things are the big things, really.
Yeah.
It's a cliche,
Whether
but it's
it's
true.
making people laugh or making people smile, I think it's just, be a better person than you are a dick sometimes.
Yeah.
Very easy
More
to be a
lessons.
dick.
Yeah.
Just try not to be one. That's all, right? Yeah. That would make a
Try not to be the
difference.
other one. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Garron, for being on the show today. Learned a
No
lot.
worries.
Learned
Thank
a
you,
lot,
guys.
especially the tips on being a stand-up comic. I think we're gonna start doing that, right, Ange?
Not looking down. Yeah.
Yeah, not looking
Yeah.
down. And the rubber mask. Now we know it exists. Thank you so much.
Here.
There you go.
Oh,
Endorsing
goodness.
that.
That's hideous.
And thank you to all of our viewers who are watching. We'll go on the comment section later on, and we will read all your comments. But thank you for taking the time.
Cool.
All right.
And you can
Thank you,
follow
guys.
Garron
Take care.
Chiu. Yeah, you can follow Garron Chiu on Instagram on I am Garron. And it's Garron Chiu, CHIU on YouTube. Please give him pressure to upload things more frequently and more often.
Be coming soon.
Since
More
he's
things
got
will be coming soon.
5 days in quarantine, he's got a hard drive. There's, does he need to
Yeah.
watch that other episode of South Park, or could he just do a bit of editing and uploading?
Yeah.
Pressure.
Maybe update his website for the
Yes.
for the stuff that he actually won.
Exactly. And
already. That
maybe
would be a good
update his
thing.
website.
For the new wins.
Give him
All
a
the
break,
wins.
poor Garron. He's already run
He's
out of
in
underwear. The
quarantine.
last thing he
What
needs
else
is
has he
all
got
this
to
pressure. He's got to decide whether
He's just either talking to us three or
no clothes.
And Garrett is now thinking, isn't the show supposed to have ended like a few minutes ago? Anyway.
Garron's thinking, I wish this guy would shut up because I'd really like to put a rubber face mask on now and make sure it purifies my pores and do yoga on my nice yoga mat.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And on that note, rubber mask and all, Garron, thank you very much. It's been fantastic. And I assure you, this is definitely a goodbye. Thank you all for watching Dear Future Grandkids. Like always, I'm Jien, that's Perci, Ange, our wonderful guest, Garron Chiu, in quarantine. Goodbye, everyone. Unfortunately, this is the end of this season. We're going to be taking a few weeks break, and we'll let you know when we're back for the very next season. But we really appreciate all of you for watching and all your comments as well. That has been absolutely fantastic. So, from all of us here at Dear Future Grandkids, we'll see you next season. Take care. And if you're like Garron, have a rubber mask, put it on. Bye.
Thanks, Garron.
Bye. Thanks, Garron.